brings us to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Buffalo Bills and the Oakland Raiders. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
Ready.
50, Mike's 50. Here we go. Strong right, strong right, strong right. Alert.
You draw Parker. Check, wait.
On first down, Barkley. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Come on, QB, come on.
Ready.
And he'll give it here to his running back. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Here's Barkley. This complete to Jones. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. The Bills send the punter out. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
Got it.
49's a Mike. 49's a Mike. Push him back. Push him back.
Check now.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Check three.
Look at me. Door.
You got that right there.
Defense.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Jones. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Jones, operating from the gun. Got his target, Samuel. That one goes for 24 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Now Jones. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Draw play. This is Yeldon. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. On third down, Barkley looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 16-yard line. A Raider first down, 17 yards. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on third and just a yard. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
4th down now after a loss of 2.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. On the counter, it's Yeldon. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Now Barkley. Funches has it complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Here we go, here we go. 60 outlaw.
Tight end right, tight end right.
Back to throw. Barkley. The catch is made by the tight end, Nada. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
6-6, pull it high. Ready, go. Ready.
Now T.J. Yeldon. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Looking to throw. Barkley. And that will be caught by Jones. He's got a Buffalo touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. As they are now on the board here in the first half. They haven't fully climbed the mountain, but they've started the ascent here with that score.
I like that, right? I think they've left base camp now, okay? So they've started to move their way up the mountain. Long way to go, but at least they know it's manageable.
Extra point try good by Gano. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put him through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
Let's go.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Here we go. Let's go.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Set, ready? 30 base.
Too low, cut. Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Everyone come.
To throw on third down, Jones. And able to complete it to Moreau. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
You ready?
Line 49. Here we go, D. All day. Defense, all day.
General West.
Alert flare.
Down.
Jones on 1st and 10. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
2 minutes remaining in the first half, 10-7, our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And to give this time to the tailback. 9 yards on the gain there, so from 2nd and 19, now we've got a 3rd and 10.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down.
Protein spill.
Watch the twist.
Rush in. Go.
Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Come on, now. Let's go.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And you figure, Charles, they have enough time here in the first half, more than a minute, to put a drive together, at least get them in position to try a field goal.
Yeah, they've got all 3 timeouts at their disposal, so I'm actually thinking bigger. With those 3 timeouts, that amount of time on the clock, I'm thinking about trying to get a touchdown and settle for a field goal.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll run with Yeldon. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Set 50, plant.
On 3rd and 2, Barkley. And that will be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 23. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get it pushing, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
Ready.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Big stop, G. You draw quarters. Back.
Operating from the gun, Jones. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
91.
Double time.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and goal at the Bills' 4-yard line.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Ready, break.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they'll go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Hey, you don't want to see me.
Go.
49 to 5.
Throwing, Jones. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Terry McLaurin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Carlson on for the PAT. And the lead is now 13. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. From the gun, Barkley going for the deep ball. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now, a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now flags will come in. One of the Bills got going a little early. So that'll back them up 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. Third and long. Operating from the gun. Barkley. He is going to find Hill here. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this.
Set, ready? 60 Pittsburgh.
Watch the curve. Watch the curve.
Hit it.
Throwing on first down. Barkley. That's complete to Nauta, the tight end. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 on that one and a Bills first down.
First down, Buffalo.
Down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory, right at the 40.
Sit up. Get it.
From the gun, Barkley. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now it's Yeldon. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6. On third down, Barkley into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley, and this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game, and so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Watch twins. Watch twins.
Check 52.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Check safety. Check.
You're out.
Check.
Let's go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. 30, past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. With touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Carlson now to add the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Back to throw. Barkley throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try the right side here with Yeldon. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
2nd and 5 now. Barkley. He finds his man. That's Sweeney. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had a big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Looking to throw. Barkley. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call. But for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Cut.
After the penalty, it's Yeldon. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Check right.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Down. 60 Pittsburgh. Get that ball. Get it.
From the 24. Barkley. He finds Yeldon. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The Bills passing game, getting them down the field. They've got another 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Tommy Sweeney, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills cut into that lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Gano the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Raiders on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Jones now operating from the gun. Catch made. It's Moreau. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Now a handoff looking right. There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A great play there. 57 yards. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. This is Yeldon. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Devin Funchess, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills get a bit closer. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point try good by Gano. And that will get him one closer.
Bills 21.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. 2nd and 4. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Timmy Jernigan able to get him for a loss of about 3.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Jones on third down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
On 1st and 10, Barkley. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against him offensively. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw. Barkley. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And the lead will shrink to 6.
Makes the score, Raiders 34, Bills 28.
So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand. Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee.
Ready. 15, Lonnie. 15, Lonnie. Go. Now.
The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee.
Today's final score, Raiders.
Well, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by the slim margin.
And bottom line, when it's all said and done, they don't ask you how much you won by. They just want to know, did you win? And that they did.
So for Oakland, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for the Bills, that first win remains elusive. They drop to 0-12 now with the loss here.